In this video, I'm going to tell you exactly why a tea ceremony should be added to your self-care routine and the benefits of different flowers, herbs, and plants for your overall well-being. Thank you ladies so much for attending my tea ceremony this afternoon. I know it was this or bridge, so I do appreciate your company. My pleasure. Let's begin, shall we? I heard from the ladies at the salon that Betty Timble ran away with the mailman. Now that's the tea. We're not spilling that kind of tea. I beg your pardon, come again. Tea dates back to almost 5,000 years ago when it was accidentally discovered in China. It's regarded for its many health benefits as well as its cultural importance. It's interesting to think about tea here in the United States because I don't think it plays as big of a part in a lot of our lives as it does in other countries, especially here in the South. When I think about growing up with tea, it was either, do you want sweet tea or do you want super sweet tea? Our only tea ritual growing up was putting a bunch of those Lipton tea bags in a big pitcher with water and sticking it out in the sun and letting the sun do the brewing. And I think a lot of times we'd add multiple cups of sugar to it. It wasn't until I decided that it was in my health's best interest to give up coffee that I started to dive into the fascinating and seemingly endless world of tea. I am definitely not trying to villainize coffee here. I think that coffee and tea have a place in a lot of people's lives. At this point, you may be thinking, tea is great and everything, but why should I give it its own ceremony? Before we go there, let's quickly look at what a ceremony is. A ceremony can be literally anything you want it to be. There is no right or wrong. It is yours and yours alone. You don't even have to call it a ceremony. You can just call it a ritual or part of your day, whatever feels best to you. The important thing of your tea ceremony, ritual, whatever you call it, is that you mindfully move through a portion of your day and bring yourself to the present moment and check in with yourself. Tea is an amazing way to show your body and soul you are listening to it, and depending on your current needs, what you put in your tea will change from day to day or week to week. Making your tea may turn into something of a meditation for you. That's why it's important to buy loose leaf flower and herbs and plants and not just the ready-to-go tea bags that you find at the store. It's also kind of fun to feel like a scientist and a mixologist coming up with these different kinds of tea depending on your needs and also just the taste you like. So what do you actually need to make tea? At the most basic level, you need something to boil water in, a strainer of some kind, herbs, flowers, or other plants, whatever is going to actually make up your tea, and something to drink it out of. From there, you can get as fancy with it as you want, but try to buy things that really, I'm going to Marie Kondo here, spark joy when you use them, because it really does add to that ritual, that ceremony, that love that you're gonna have for it and yourself. I love my clear tea kettle because I actually like to watch the water get darker as it steeps. It's the little things. When I started drinking tea, I was kind of intimidated by all the different plants and herbs that I had never heard of and didn't know what they would help me with. So I really just took it one at a time. My tea collection is greater than what you see here, but it took me a while to get there. I focused on what I felt was the most important at that time to my body and my needs, and I just did a bunch of research and took it from there. I was initially really focused on my acne, so I would always use ginger because I knew that that helped with inflammation, and then I also learned that milk thistle helps detoxify the liver. Here's how I hold my tea ceremony. I decide what my intention will be before I actually put my tea together. Sometimes it's creating a tea for hormonal health. Sometimes I just want to drink some really calming tea because I know that I need a moment to chill the F out. I also make sure there aren't any distractions while I'm making my tea. So I put my phone in another room, I make sure Mabel's good to go, and then I get started. Right before the tea boils, I turn the stove off and let it sit for another few minutes. I love the sound of the tea pouring into the mug. Again, it's the little things that bring us into the present. When my tea is ready, I head to the living room, light a candle, and then sit in silence, put on calming music, or put on one of those oddly mesmerizing YouTube background ambiance videos. My favorite right now is the cabin with the rain. From start to finish, my tea ceremony only lasts about 15 to 20 minutes most days, but I really have found that I look forward to this time. Here are some of my favorite tea ingredients and their benefits. Let me know which one you would try in the comments, or let me know one that I didn't mention because I love learning about new tea. When I want to feel calm, I like to use chamomile and lavender. For hormone health, my go-tos are red raspberry leaf and rose. For acne, I like dandelion root, milk thistle, and nettle leaf. For gut health, I'm a fan of slippery elm, licorice root, and fennel. For immunity, I like burdock root. My inflammation powerhouse is ginger. And for congestion, I grab my pantry staple, dried thyme. A tea ceremony is a simple practice that you can incorporate into your life to take a moment to pause, check in with yourself, and listen to your body and soul's needs.